could not believe what's happened, and I thought it's fake until I saw the dollars coming into my bank account. When I saw the 10,000K last week, I was, what's going on here?
It's a crazy stuff. That 10,000 a day, it's basically one of the high-paid income salary in United States for months. When you're receiving it in one single day, it's a crazy thing at the beginning.
Go for it, trust these people, take a risk, and then be patient with the results.
Hello to everyone, welcome to another episode of Ecommerce Business Stream Podcast. And today I have with me one wonderful guest, client of our agency of GSM Growth, Anis Jerby. He is actually soccer coach and doing that for several years. And in one day he decided to start the e-commerce business and give it a try and just start working with us. And so far, after being with us a bit more than a month, in this particular month in November has been generated already 48,000 together in profitable sales. And I really wish to find out more from Anis, what exactly experience on his side. And hopefully that some of you who is listening will be understanding a bit more about the e-commerce, not from the agency side, not from the gurus and coaches, but actually from the people who are involved into the business, and as well the same like you, doing the regular different kind of stuff in life and just decided to diversify it by creating their own e-commerce online store. How are you doing, Anis?
Good morning, good, very good, thank you.
Can you just briefly describe what you have done as a coach, as a soccer, and why have you decided to jump into the e-commerce?
Originally a soccer coach, I played actually soccer professionally back home in Tunisia. So started coaching here in the US since 1999, 2000. So therefore, my passion is soccer and soccer only. I had no idea about businesses, just soccer, and my brain is soccer. So just a couple of years ago, my wife mentioned that maybe we should start an e-commerce online, and started to study that. A year ago, I launched a Shopify store, and it wasn't successful at all. 3 months ago, I decided to just close it down, and I did. And then out of the sudden, I'm looking at the website that on Facebook, the organization or the business that I was with, trying to look if they're still in business or not, the company that I was with. And I saw a comment, from a client that used to be with them, saying that this is scam, we need to act, and etc. So I contacted her right away, and I said, how did you get scammed, and etc. But eventually we went back and forth, and eventually maybe you should try this Shopify. I've been with them for about 6 months, and I've seen success, for probably a third month, I think she said, yeah. And she gave me the information, and I started to study. Literally, I got on a computer and started looking into your business, the online website that you guys have, the testimonials as well. And I felt comfortable to contact one of your team members, and that's how it started, really.
You decided to give a shot because basically you had already trust someone just refer you hey, you have to try that because this is what's happening to me, correct?
Yeah, it started with a trust. I trusted the woman that I spoke to about you guys, and listen, that part of my DNA as a soccer coach or as a player as well is taking risks. So I wasn't shy away from taking a risk.
I completely understand you, and actually when it's especially back when I started 2017, it was really hard to trust someone online. Now it's Zoom and all the quarantine and everything just bring people more in trust with the online space. But in general, before starting any new direction, always wants to speak to someone who already going through or went through the before. But I'm wondering can you describe what was your process for online journey, which you just said that you shut down the store before joining us, how it was look like before joining us, and why do you think that project failed, in your opinion?
Every time they try to do salads, a breaks even until one day, it started going down and below. So I think mainly the problem was the ads. I don't think they did as much of ads of this. So listen, I have no idea of this Shopify business. All I see is on YouTube and trying to learn and catch up. So eventually when they disappeared, out of the sun they disappeared, I just decided to close Shopify and move on. I have another business on Amazon, and it's not looking good. It's not working well. So I can't wait to really close it down. Like I said, I mean, I was willing to take risks and see what it takes. And when I spoke to this female about your businesses, and I spoke to one of your team members, I felt comfortable that I could use the word trust, so I could, trust my instinct and trust my risk and move forward to see how it goes. Because I decided when I shut down the Shopify business, the previous one, what was it, 3 months ago, I believe, I decided not to go forward anymore. So I decided just to focus on my soccer coach, and that was it. But then God sent that woman. She sent something in that Facebook comments, and I was like, let me follow up and see what happened to her.
Something is happening, and like they just disappeared, as you said, the people who you work with, and that's something which is I notice for myself a common stuff when problems are happening. Doesn't matter if you're paying to people, doesn't matter if you're partnering with people, but especially, to be honest with you, in the United States, people just like doesn't want to deal with shit and just quitting. And like, whoa, how come? This is how I built my first partnership back in 2018. I got some of my friends from same mastermind. One of his partners just like quit on him when they got some like product quality issues, and instead of dealing with the problems, he just left him as it is, and he was the Facebook experience guy with the experience in the e-commerce, and the partner, well, his name is Maz, from Minnesota. He said I don't know what to do now. I have no idea about the Facebook anything. I know how to manage the store, how to manage customer service, but have no clue how to deal with ads. So this is where I decided to give a shot. I said, let me help you out. I had my store that time, and I said, let me help you out with solving that problem. And if it's gonna work out, and I will take care of your ads, all good, we're gonna be scaled together. And this is where we built several years partnership from that moment. And I understood one thing, that running from problems is just people always looking for the simplest stuff. When they see that something doesn't work, they just ban it you it's disaster. So I really feel bad for that previous experience, but this is what's made you who you are in terms of understanding the business. And now Amazon, you're saying that maybe it's not working well right now, it will work better. Maybe it's not working well with those vendors who you're working with others will be working. So don't put don't shut down your idea about Amazon as well, maybe because by experience with one case, you see you have now with Shopify different cases. So this is the thing which is always important to understand. Everyone who are trying good enough times and with the different approaches, always finding out the approach which is working for them. So that's the secret pillar, I would say, between the successful results in e-commerce and any kind of business and no success.
Got it. I'll take your advice. Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
How was your process since you joined us? Since you start working with us, what has been different to compare with working with other teams?
Communication, which was huge to me. Huge. Okay, communication, face-to-face communication, daily communication. Sometimes, especially from the beginning, it was hourly communication, really. So that I appreciated. That got me confident and building the trust that I was talking about. Communication is number one.
Amazing. So by working with previous company and with Amazon, there is a different communication.
Oh, just day and night.
Wow, appreciate for this feedback. That's awesome. Can you just describe the time commitment from your end during our collaboration? What your responsibilities and what do you take care of by working with us?
In the beginning, I had to spend some time to work with your team, obviously, in terms of bank accounts, in terms of the beta business, all that stuff. We had some hurdles in the beginning, and still, actually, we're trying to figure that out. As a matter of fact, today, I opened a new account to make sure that there's no interference anymore, because there's so many fraud alerts from my previous bank. So therefore, I decided to move on. So there was so many hurdles, literally. But and it's time commitment from me, because I'm a soccer coach. I'm pretty much doing a lot of work in the morning and in the evening, particularly in the evening. So therefore, when the team communicates with me, I can't just drop coaching and take care of the business side of Shopify. So it was that was a challenge, and I think there is still challenge, and I believe there is more challenge coming up front. So, but in the beginning, yeah, for sure, the time commitment to help the team, because I'm the one who trying to make sure that especially the bank accounts are working well. So it was tiring, to be honest with you. I had to go to the bank every day to make sure that there's no interference anymore.
That's definitely a headache. I mean, just to describe, to clarify, Anis has days last week over 10K a day performance in his store, and basically the issue that Facebook is trying to charge the cards and it's failing, and not because there is not enough balance, it's just because his bank deciding that it's like fraud charges, which is its common thing happening. That's why like it's always need to be communicate with the bank about like, hey, it's gonna be charged by Facebook. I'm doing advertising business. I'm in e-commerce space, so I have online store. That's why please make it as a green transactions on my end. And banks usually answering yes, no problem, all cool. We would mention, and after that, fail payment again. Unfortunately, like this is kind of like several banks are doing that, and like their systems are strange and sensitive. But one of the good ways, and it's not a promoting, it's just saying what's for the advertisers good. It's like a golden American Express. That's what one of the biggest points has. Like you can make it like 3 to 4 points from every single dollar spent on ads, and plus in the same time like it's allowed you to spend without any kind of fraud charges, because the American Express Gold specifically created for such kind of businesses. I mean, there is several directions, but advertising is one of them. So you can really, by spending making 10K a day, spending 3K a day on ads, like in the months it's 90,000. From 90,000 you can generate around 350,000 points, which is 3.5K for your vacation or for something like that. So keep that in mind, because this could be one of the additional solutions. Because as I was saying, some of the banks, just whatever you're saying to them, they just ignoring. I have been in such kind of case, and I remember putting the money manually into my bank account, just in another account, just to make sure like there is enough for the budget. It was back in 2017. I was living in Dubai at that moment, and there was different challenges with the banks as well, especially that I was outside of USA. But just saying that it's manageable and it's a good problem to have, especially when things are really going crazy. Like for example, I would love to hear from you. It's your first ever experience. You generated last week 10,000 a day. What have you felt?
I started generating money from the first day, I believe first day to November, October.
Yeah, it was end of October, was couple of hundreds, like 300-400 a day, yeah.
Could not believe what's happened, and I thought it's fake until I saw the dollars coming into my bank account. Seriously. When I saw the 10,000K plus last week, I was a little bit nervous and doubting, and I was like, what's going on here? Just because the bank is giving me so much stress about the fraud alerts and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I started to believe that there is money coming in after probably third, fourth day, I believe, where we started the business.
It's a crazy stuff. That 10,000 a day, it's basically one of the high-paid income salary in United States for months. So that's exactly that kind of feeling when you're receiving it in one single day. It's a crazy thing at the beginning. That's why I was asking you this kind of specific question. Based on your results so far, like where are you now? What your expectations? Where you see your business in the next 6 to 12 months?
I don't have that answer, to be honest with you.
Because you just started.
Yeah, because I just started. Like I said, some people that had the second and third month just to start to see the income or the winning product. To be honest with you, I don't know. Number one thing is I have some debts I need to pay. If I could do them in the next 2 or 3 months, it'd be great. And then see where that leads me, to be honest with you. So step by step, and see what that. But I really don't have that broad vision 6-12 months from now.
I can feel you because you start getting success quite fast, and you start dealing with the cash flow issue. You can start dealing with some other stuff. Like team is educating you about the process of scaling, and now most probably your first month you'll be ended close to 6 figures or over 6 figures by end of November, which is definitely like a crazy stuff, and you most probably even don't have even time to think about it. What do you think your wife would tell you when you will share with her the data, the numbers?
Well, look, when I opened the second Shopify, she knew about the first Shopify, and she agreed that let's close it down and just move on. But like I told you, a couple months later when I opened the account, or I decided to open the account, I never shared anything with her. I took the money and just moved forward with it. Until the trouble started to come about the bank account, because she started to get in the alerts as well. And she started to ask, this is like third week, I think. She started to ask, what's going on here? And I had to sit down with her and explain, this is what's happening. Look at I showed her the phone. I said, look, this is Shopify, and it's overwhelming that I made all that money. She didn't believe it either. She did not believe it. She did not believe that there was a profit. I did not either, to be honest with you. I did not until I said, until I started to see big chunk of money coming to my account, because the worry was always, how can I keep rolling the money towards the ads and towards the invoices? Because I was behind in invoices. At some point I was behind big time, right? Now everything is clear and straight, but that was her concern, my concern. And once she saw the profit coming in, she thought that, okay, well, let's see what this leads us.
Awesome. My wife, when I remember I shared with her February 2018, I shared with her 5,700 revenue generated. It was like in 5-6 days, something like that. I sent her a screenshot. She was in Ukraine that moment. I was in UAE, and I just sent her a screenshot. Look how much I made. Like, it's incredible. She like, what is that? I'm like, no, I'm saying this is what I was doing for the last several months. I was telling you, oh, you in some kind of sector, stop doing that. How much money will you go bring home? I said, none. I will reinvest, and it will be allowed me to scale further. Wow. She's just screaming on me like, don't do that.
To be honest with you, same reactions. Trust me, Anatoliy, same reactions. She freaked out as well. Yeah.
That's our ladies. They always worrying about, and obviously it makes sense. You know what is the part about the e-commerce, that it's invisible. So it's making money while you're sleeping. It's making money while you're working. It's making money while you're driving, while you are having conversations, watching movies. So it's something on the back end, somewhere in the air. Things are happening, but at the end, you see physically on your account. But our brains, especially brains of our relatives and wives, they cannot realize that on the back end is a big job is happening, like advertising, creatives, copywriting, store development, landing page optimization. So much thing is going on there. Everyone is just like our standard brain setup, the human setup. Like, there is a factory, someone is making the shoes. You can see those shoes, you can smell it, you can squeeze it. You can understand that this has been done, like someone created product, people were working for it, get the salary. So physically you see the product and you understand why the money coming in, because those shoes has been sold. My husband came from factory, made the money. But when you making something online, it's really hard to believe that it looks like money button machine, but at the end it's a real business behind. And according to that's exactly what I was planning to ask you. Did you have any misconceptions before starting? That someone was over-promising or maybe opposite, saying that it's not that good and it's became better. Have you had any kind of wrong expectations before decided to give a second shot for the Shopify automation?
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind, for sure. But like I said, I think my origin and I'm in sports, obviously, in soccer. So I'm always a risk taker. I'm not a coach where I sit back and wait for the team, on counter. No, I go forward. I take risks. So, but always you take a risk, but what are the consequences? You have to put both in balance and just move forward, I think. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Makes sense. Look, if someone is on the fence about working with us, what would you tell to them?
Well, I would tell them number one is patience. Okay, take a risk. Or number one is go forward. Trust these people. Take a risk, and then be patient with the results.
But I would say the patience is the number one thing, especially again, it's invisible on the front end. And if you are not patient enough, why so many people are not going to succeed in e-commerce is because they just tried for a week, for 2, maybe 4 months or 2 by themselves, with the agency, with the coach, it doesn't matter. Just they give it a shot for a bit, and it didn't work out yet, and no, it's scam, or hey, it's not working for me, and that's where it's ending. But the patience, it's exactly if you are not quitting and continue step by step, giving a shot and trying different approaches and you were working with different people, this is where you definitely can get the results. And it's all just about if you want to be in the industry or if you're not. So that's only the part between people who succeeding and making 6-7 figures a year in e-commerce, or who just tried, spend a couple of hundreds or thousands and just let it go. Trust and taking risks and having patience. I agree with you. This is maybe supposed to be on the wall everywhere. That it's not top 3 things which is people must follow when they diving into some journeys. May I ask you, in our days, you almost deal with the bank, so the things are going on. How would you describe your mood? You ready to scale? You want to go smooth and slow as it is, or you just want to scream around and saying how awesome it is? I'm just wondering what's your internal mind looks like, since cash flow issue is behind, all the setups on place, or what do you feel in our days?
It all depends. It all depends on how this new bank will work for me. So if I could go big, I'll go big. Like I told you, I take a risk, but also I would need to be a little bit more careful with the new bank, see how this works. So small steps maybe, but to move forward and see how we can scale up to bigger scale. Because I know when I made that like you said, I made 10+K, it was I think $3,500 ads a day, I think, right? But there was so much interference, interruptions. So, and that could hurt the meta business or the algorithm. So I said, let's slow it down right now, and it's working fine. It's working fine, but let's see with the new bank. But if I could scale it up, I will for sure.
It's all equal. I mean, if you want to make bigger revenue, you need to spend more on ads. For example, in the local business, for example, as a soccer coach, if you're opening your club and want to bring their kids, what you need to do, you need to put the big boards in the town, you need to start local Google ads, local radio ads, whatever it is working the best in the town. So you need to invest to get revenue back. And or word of mouth will bring you some revenue, then you put that income into the ads and it's give you bigger revenue, your club becoming bigger quantity of students and so on. And the same with with the advertising, you need with Shopify, you need just put money on the ads at the beginning, a bit by bit, just to find out the product which is going to be working. Then if product is working and consistent and profitable, you need to put more on the daily basis. If you were making $300 a day, to make $1,000 a day, you definitely you cannot spend $50 or $100 a day and make $1,000. You need to definitely increase your, if it's $300 a day from $100 I spend, so means I have to spend $350 a day to make $1,000. That's equal. The same if I want to make it $10,000, I need to spend 3.5 according to what you just said. You see, it's that simple, and that's why so many people sometimes have misunderstanding that at least $800, so this is how you make me $100K a month. I need at least $800 to put into the ads. So that's, I want to make it really clear that it is during the testing phase, at least $800 on the testing. When product is started to be scalable, then we have always reinvest back into the ads, and this is what can happen with the right reinvestments. business is all about the reinvestments, and when you have good enough profits, then you start slowly taking out from your bank account and bring home. That's the number one point at the beginning of any kind of business, because sometimes people just make $200 profit, instantly withdraw $400, and now they're negative, and like they have bigger and bigger cash flow gap. So that's I want to like tell to everyone, like cash has to stay in the business.
The plan was $800 a month on ads, which that's the budget I had, $800 to $1,200. So that's the budget I had. So when the sales started to come up from the next day, things are moving so fast that my bank account, because I don't get the money back in the next day or two, so the bank account is going low. So it got scary a little bit, and I became nervous, right? So that was the plan. Is okay, I have $800, $1,200 a month for ads until I hit the product, but I was not prepared for the product to hit the first day. I was not prepared, to be honest with you. So, but you hit it on point over there. Yes.
Yeah. Like I will. Would you like to like honest opinion? I mean, even I'm doing that for 8 years. Never anyone prepares. I feel. I mean, on my own experience as well. What I want to say, if like in the advertising, it's calling momentum. If momentum is there, we have to catch it. Otherwise, it could be lost the momentum, and we don't know if performance will go back. So I remember a moment I was making, like I was spending $100 a day, and was like, oh my God, I'm spending $100 a day. It's $3,000 a month. Like, come on, like, what am I doing here? And I was making back from 100, I was making back like almost 350 a day. And I was speaking to my mentor, and like I said, can you imagine like almost $10,000 a month? It's just incredible. And he said like, so scale it. I'm like, what do you mean? So you're saying that you're spending 100 and making 350 back. Am I right? I'm like, yeah. He said, so spend 200. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, it's too much. It's like I cannot do that. And this kind of block, it's staying like everywhere. I mean, a block, not be prepared and so on. It's just like as well a psychological part a lot. Even on the advertisers, our media buyers, like at the beginning, it was as well huge mental work done to explain them that you can make 60,000 a day with one store. You can make like 10,000 a day easily. And like before that, they were like scared to spend like $20, for $100. But when you explaining like making explode of their mind, that's what's helping like to achieve better results. It's only about the beliefs. If you believe that you're gonna be spend $100, it's a lot, you're gonna believe that $100 is not a lot. I mean, it depends what we want to believe. Like both sides are correct. There is no lie or true. Both sides are correct. And when my mentor said to me like, come on, like it's crazy. He said, just do it. I came to my wife. I said, listen, I'm going to be this couple of days a bit stressed. So like, just want to tell you that there is going to be happening something crazy. Like, please be prepared. And I start spending $200 a day, and I start seeing over 600 a day. Like, it's happening. And that moment I realized that that's true. And then when we start continue conversations, he said, so spend 400 a day. Like, come on, it's like too much. And then I started realizing the technique. So like, okay, that makes sense. Like we always have to reinvest. We always have to keep the money into the business until the business generated good enough that we can withdraw whatever is like left over. But it's just like a funny part, which is I just, catch in my mind. Anyway, Anis, I really appreciate for like you being here. Maybe you have some couple of points or couple of thoughts from your end before we ending up the podcast, what you would like to share with the audience who are listening, for people who are thinking about jumping into e-commerce or already inside. What would be like maybe top like 3 thoughts or 1 thought which you think that everyone has to understand?
People need to trust your company, obviously, your business. I thought the team is very good, very good people. The communication is great. So, I encourage people to take a risk like I did and see where it leads them. Patience as well. So I think we covered everything in this podcast together in terms of what to advise other people to do. So, yeah.
Awesome, Ernest. Appreciate you for being with me. And guys and girls, see you in another episode. Have a good day.